Hello, fellow investor. I want to welcome you to this channel. In this video, we look at the earnings expectations for RTX. RTX is reporting second quarter earnings on Tuesday, July 22nd, before the market open. So what can we expect from RTX moving into the earnings? We're going to cover several topics to see how RTX is trading going into the earnings and help set expectations moving forward. We will review the current price chart and trend charts, along with some key valuation growth and profitability metrics from Seeking Alpha and Fast Graphs. I'll also provide an update on RTX portfolio holdings and performance. Let's get started. In the previous quarter, RTX reported revenue of $20.31 billion, beating revenue estimates by $509.48 million. RTX reported earnings of $1.47 per share, beating estimates by 10 cents per share. For this quarter, the revenue estimate is $20.65 billion, with earnings of $1.43 per share. Over the last 90 days, 2 analysts raised estimates and 15 analysts lowered estimates. RTX meets or beats analysts 1 year forward estimates 91% of the time. RTX is showing positive relative strength going into the earnings. The options market is pricing an implied move of plus or minus 4.9%. We'll start off with my trade history with RTX. I've made a total amount of buys of about $6,800. I've sold about $4,800 worth for a net investment of about $2,020. The buys were at an average price of $94.09 per share, and my sells were around $112.76. I've had a realized return of $569.21, about 28%. My unrealized returns are $1,955.56. So that price gain is about $65 on the unrealized return. I've been paid a total of 8% in dividends. I've received about 24.6% in options, $500 or so, for a total return of a little over $3,000, or 122.9% total return, 81.1% annualized. So I've made a total of 14 trades. All of them have been winning trades, so the win rate's 100%. I haven't had any losing trades on RTX. This is the 1 year daily price chart for RTX. One of the first things that we'll notice is after the tariff announcements in early April, like most other companies, had a pretty significant price drop. We did see a nice recovery of RTX following the announcements. And then after the earnings on April the 12th, we had a pretty significant drop down to about 112 on that day from 128 or so. But the recovery since then has been pretty significant, and even in today's trading on Friday, July the 18th, it looks to be pretty positive. I do see a long upper tail on that candlestick, so there may be a little bit of indecision here as we're moving into the earnings on the 22nd. I do see positive RSI. It's getting pretty close to the overbought condition at a level of 70. It's currently sitting at 69.54. I do see positive PPO, and we have had a crossover indicating momentum is improving. And we've had, after a very flat accumulation line for several months at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, we have seen a pretty steady increase in accumulation since about the beginning of March. Turning our attention to the 5-year weekly chart, we can see that RTX has had very strong momentum in its long-term averages. So it's been trading above its long-term averages since about early March. It's been trading above its midterm averages since about the end of November or so, with the exception of early 2025 did it trade down below its medium-term averages, and since that time it has been trading positive or ahead of those midterm averages. And the short-term averages are also positive at the moment. So RTX is showing positive momentum in the short term, the medium term, and the long term moving averages. We can see RTX has a forward PE of 25.42 times compared to the sector at 20.4 times. The expected EPS growth rate for RTX is 9.84% over the next year, compared to its sector average of 4.60%, and the expected revenue growth is 9.06% for RTX, compared to its sector at 8.15%. Then we turn our attention to profitability. RTX has a net margin of 5.63% compared to the sector average at 6.19%. We'll take a look at RTX in fast graphs. We're looking at a 13-year time frame here. We can see that RTX is currently trading at a blended PE of 25.78 times. They have an EPS yield of 3.88 times. They do pay a dividend with a yield of 1.8%. Over this 13 years, RTX has had an adjusted operating earnings growth rate of 4.92. FastGraphs calculates their fair value at 15 times, and the market normally trades them at a PE of 18.23 times, which is the blue line here, and the fair value is this orange line. We can see where the price is currently trading. It's pretty significantly above its normal PE and fair value PE. So I'm not adding any shares at this point. I'd like to find a pullback that's a little closer to its normal PE. So I'm going to hold the shares that I have. I do think the price is extended a bit at the moment. That's my review of RTX as we move into the earnings. Let me know in the comments what you think about this company. Let me know if you hold a position in RTX. If you find these earnings previews helpful, I would appreciate you subscribing to the channel so you are alerted to future videos as they get posted. I would also be grateful if you like the video to help support this channel. I wish you the best in your investment journey, and remember to trade well.